In this video, I'm going to show you how to fix red eyes in photos using Photoshop. I'm going to start by opening up Photoshop as well as the images that I'm using today. I'll show you on this cat and on this lady. And what we are looking for first is for the red eye tool icon. This should be between the eyedropper and the paintbrush tool, but if you see something here like a band-aid or a weird warpy looking thing, we're going to right click on that to get that sub-menu to come up, and we will select red eye tool from here. So up at the top, we are going to see our settings for our tool. We have pupil size and darken amount. So darken amount is going to set the color from, or the value, I should say, from 1, which is going to be more on a light gray side of the scale, up to 100, which is going to give you a truer black. This pupil size is going to determine how big the darkest part of this circle is. So basically what this tool does is it creates this radial gradient where there's a dark part in the center and it kind of fades out to lighter values towards the edges of the circle. The bigger that you make this, the closer to the edge of that circle, the darkness is going to be. And I'll show you what I mean in a minute. But the safest value to set for both of these is 50%, and then you can adjust as needed depending on your image. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on this lady's face so that we can see her eyeballs. And there are 2 ways that we can use this red eye tool. The first is just by clicking on the red areas. So click, click, and it should correct our image. If this is not working as expected, you can try a second way. You can, let me undo this, click and drag around the whole eye area. You should see this rectangle on my screen. You're going to release, and it should find the red pupil within that rectangle. On this image in particular, it gives you pretty much the same result. Now, like everything in Photoshop, this does not work 100% of the time. So before you go to more like extensive manual editing, we can try one more thing. So again, I'm going to undo these. What you can do, even if you're using a PNG or a JPEG like I am today, you can go up to Filter, Camera Raw Filter. And from here, we will see this red eye tool again over on the right side. So I'm going to click that. And then because this is a nice, beautiful front-facing, clear picture of a person's face, what I can do is click this auto button and it will automatically find the red eyes within the image and it'll go ahead and correct them. So I'm going to do that. We got these marching ant rectangles around her eyes, so I'm going to uncheck overlay so that I can actually see what's going on. And this looks pretty much the same as the normal red eye tool that we used before. But from this camera raw filter, what you can do is adjust these settings and see what they do to your image before you click OK and apply it. So you can see with the pupil size, when I change this, if I make it really small, that red is still coming through. And with the darkness, you can see that we either give her demon eye or we give her like icy Elsa eye. And when you do that in combination, it's very, very dramatic. So it can be good to use this camera raw filter just to be able to look at those settings before you actually apply anything. In this case, 50% works for me for this image, so I'm going to go ahead and click OK. Keep in mind if you are using that camera raw filter, if you have a person at an angle, if you have a pet, or just anything irregular about the image, it may not be able to automatically find the eyes. So actually, I shouldn't have closed that. I will go back into that camera raw filter, and if it is not able to automatically find the eyes, you can actually use this the same way, and you can select. Again, this is a good alternative too if you just want to be able to adjust those sliders before you actually apply it to your image. So the red eye tool does not just work on people, it can also work on our dear pets. So in this image, I am going to leave it at 50% to start. I'm going to click on those pupils. But you can see that because this cat has a little bit more redness going around its whole eye, we're still getting this like pink halo around the pupil that looks a little weird. So I'm going to undo that. I'm going to change the darkness amount to 100 on this one and see if that helps. And to me, that does make a little bit of a difference. We can play around a little more. I think that's better. And now we have our adjusted image. So those are the most basic ways to remove red eyes in Photoshop. If this was helpful, be sure to subscribe for more Photoshop tutorials.